Hello and welcome back to National Busways West Scotland, where we're looking at some of the SVT type buses that we use on the QuickSilver X3 and X30 out of the Wishaw garage. So, yeah, these are some Scania K94UB6 Volgren-bodied, with Volgren bodywork. We have 16 of them for the X3 and X30, and they're doing fairly well. You know, they're fairly new, and they look gorgeous. I've just updated the livery for them, so that, I've updated the repaint for them so that the roof is the right way round and it's the correct resolution, because I'd done it at half resolution, which was stupid. But now they're at full resolution, so it's all good. So I'll get the rest of them re-liveried off camera. But in the meantime, we have, how many do we have liveried? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. We have 5 of the 16 re-liveried. Very nice. And we're looking at the QuickSilver buses to start, because QuickSilver is somewhat relevant today. In fact, it is relevant today, because I have plans for 3 new routes, of which 2 are going to be QuickSilver. I would like to do these QuickSilver routes in pairs as often as I can, because it fits nicely on the rear end branding that you can't see in the external garages, which is unfortunate. So, the next QuickSilver pair that we're going to run are the X4 to Kirkintilloch and the X20 to Cumbernauld. Although the X20 has a little bit of a secret, and I'll get into that later. So, I've just had an idea. Hang on. I have just had an idea. And I kind of like it. For the orange arrows. Because the orange arrows are currently numbered with a C prefix. And I've said that letter prefixed routes are not really a thing beyond night and express services until 2005 or so, and we're currently in 2003 or 2004. So I'm thinking of having these be the like 801, 802, 803 and not 84, 804. I just need to make the destination shorter. There we go. Yeah, they're going to be in the 800s now. Not the 500s, because, well, they might end up in the 500s, but I'm putting them in 800s for now, just to keep everything tidy. And then maybe in 2005, rather than adopting C again, maybe they go into the 500s or whatever. But anywho, the first route I'm going to get into today is going to be the X4, which is going to run from the Buchanan Bus Station in Glasgow out to Kirkintilloch via the motorway, which means it'll go via Lindsay. Glasgow fast Kirkintilloch. Nice. That's probably right up against the character limit. That's a really long name. Although, isn't it Glasgow Kirkintilloch fast like that? I think that's what I do. So let's zoom in. Glasgow. Yeah, let's use that stand. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have them come... Ooh, how should they leave the bus station? Because they could go out like that and then straight onto the motorway. Yeah, that's how they're going to go. They're going to go straight onto the motorway, so they're going to do that. Very nice. Which apparently takes 4 minutes. And then it's going to come off the motorway there, and it's going to go that way. So let's have a look. Is that doing what I think it should do? Yes, it is. Very nice. Good, nice run on the motorway there. Were we even going to go there? I don't think we were even going to go there. I think we were going to go up this road. So we'll go there. Then we'll go there. Then we'll go there. And we'll go this way up through Townhead. Yes, like this, and then Kirkintilloch. Size equals 75%, small caps, limited stop. Technically, it all stops along its route. It just has a very sizable motorway portion where there aren't any stops. But shush. So coming out of Kirkintilloch, we're going to go that way. That way. Ooh, not like that. Like that. And actually we're going to have a stop on Cowgate. That's like going to be where buses start. Rochdale Place. Townhead. There. There. And then the roundabout. And then let's head down on the motorway, all the way back into Glasgow. Like that. And then we'll go into... Oh, the bus station works now! The bus station actually works now. Oh, that's really nice. There we go. So this route is just under 10 miles each way and takes about 25 minutes each way. Not bad. That's Discord on my laptop. And yeah, timetable. Probably going to run it every hour as the core, and then like, so stack 2 hourly timetables on top of each other to make a half-hourly link. Which means the vehicle requirement for this route is going to be very low indeed. And the timetable for the X4 is now done. So, we have a vehicle requirement of 2, but it does require some very slick turnarounds to run our peak of half-hourly service. So this is going to run from... Oh, no, I don't need to set it there, but I do want to make sure that this is going to use the SVT type. And it's going to run out of... Oh, it's KK. I thought it was KT. Okay, so my repaint's wrong, but that's fine. Activate. We'll activate that now. We're also going to be buying more buses than we need for the X4 and X20 in their current states, because the X20 has a secret. So, yeah. Next route is going to be the X20, which is going to go much the same way out of Glasgow, but it's going to continue on the motorway out to Cumbernauld. And it's going to go into Cumbernauld and, you know, turn back at the town centre, just like the 20 does. Because, you know, it's the X20. Oh, that simplified all of this. It's just night buses and express buses now. That's so nice. But yes, next is going to be the X20 to Cumbernauld. That's doing an autosave. Very responsible of it. So, own bus route helps if you press the button. So this episode is not just going to be QuickSilver, there's also going to be a regular bus route. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Of course the game is doing its autosave, so it's going to take a little bit. Oh, spoke too soon. That was very close. X20, Glasgow to Cumbernauld. Fast. There you go. Completely failed at touch typing there, but eh. So, zoom out just a little bit. We're going to use this stand. Glasgow size equals 75, small caps, limited stop. Size equals 100, boink. And just so that I know it's definitely going to go that way, very nice. So we're going to follow this motorway all the way up, past this junction, all the way around Moody's Burn. And we're going to come off the motorway here. Like that. That is 11 miles on the motorway, very nice. And we'll stop there. And there. And we'll terminate at... Which one is Cumbernauld Town Centre? Is it this one? No. Well, I need another stop anyway. I need Cumbernauld Limited Stop. There we go. Cumbernauld. Size is 75. Small caps. Limited stop. There we go. Now, that's going to come back around. And we're going to stop there, there. And then get onto the motorway like that. I'm also putting these waypoints in just to find out kind of how long we're on the motorway for. Because this is a long motorway run. Wow. Yeah, 11 miles on the motorway. Very, very fun. Very, very nice. And Glasgow. So this run is supposed to take even less time than the longer X, or than the shorter X4. Huh. Well, that's fun. So, yeah. Next is to timetable this beast. And when it comes to buying the buses, we'll find out the secret of the X20. And the timetable for the X20 is now done, although it's not showing up correctly. I have no idea why, but yeah, it's not showing up right, but it's there. And on Sundays, it runs hourly, so it's just one bus bouncing backwards and forwards constantly. So, we'll confirm that, and we'll run it out of Cumbernauld, because, no, I didn't put KT on the roofs of these new buses, I put CD. So I need to change the X4 over to Cumbernauld as well. Here are the X4 and X20's brand new, Scania Volgren triaxle things. The Volgren bodyworks never seem to have names, so it's a Volgren thing. But I'm not showing you the back, because that's the secret of the X20, which, yeah, it's going to go to Stirling. Yeah, X20 is going to go Stirling, which is why I'm buying 8 of them rather than the 4 that I need, and, well, rather than the 4 that the vehicle requirement is and the 6 that I would therefore need. I'm buying 8. So that, you know, when the time comes to extend the X20 up to Stirling, we have the buses. And everything from Cumbernauld has come unassigned. So I'm just going to pause that, and let's find our Volgrens. There they are. So, yeah, these are going to be... Oh, I need to set up... Yeah, I remember how this works. QuickSilver. Copy that, so that doing that makes the word quick italicized. CD. Fleet number is going to be SVT17, just pull straight from the old batch, from the previous batch, because I doubt we would have many of these, because they are a bit weird. License plate is going to be SS53 Q. Oh, I can't have Q. SLV, but that's not going to have many left. Also, not SS53, I'm going to go with SV53. SVR. There you go. There you go, see? That's made that italics. So I'll get the rest of these done in a little jump cut. And finally, we have SV53SVZ, Z, better known as SVT24. So, let's go into the shift scheduler for this garage. Hope we have enough drivers, because I actually ran out of drivers at Port Glasgow. There we go. SV should be right at the end. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to unassign the SVTs, even though I just assigned them, and see how many we'll need. So let's put you out, you out, you out, you out, and you. So we need 8, 7, 6, 5. Technically we need 6, because I'm not happy with how short that transfer is. So yeah, that gives the X20 some room to grow, which it will need, because Stirling I think is more than a doubling of its length. So if anything, we may end up needing to supplement this fleet down the road. But before they go out, let's do our normal route. So we get our mainline colour, and our normal route is going to be numbered the 115. I will let you ponder as to what that entails, while I wait for the game to respond. So, I have let you ponder as to what the number 115 entails as I'm looking at this part of the map. Yeah, that was a dead giveaway. Yeah, it's going to run from Glasgow to Airdrie as a daytime service. Okay, and this is going to be the 115 Glasgow. Let's go to Airdrie. And I think for now it'll run from the Cumbernauld garage, because that's quite easy to do. So we're going to start it there, and then we're going to go there, and just follow the main road out of Airdrie, where the N15 goes. So post me, if you don't mind. And here is the 115 from Glasgow to Airdrie. So, yes, rather than terminating in Glasgow city centre, it terminates at the exhibition centre, and then runs to the north side of the city centre, serving Buchanan Bus Station and Queen Street Station rather than George Square, and then flings itself along the Edinburgh Road. It's basically the most direct routing possible between Coatbridge and Airdrie and Glasgow. And as such, it takes just over an hour each way, which is not terrible, considering how long this route is, and the fact that Glasgow is now a very, very busy, very congested urban area. And by congested, I just mean we're running a lot of buses. So, yeah, timetable time. This is probably going to run every 12-ish minutes with stacked timetables. So, timetables running every 25 minutes, like 25-minute frequency timetables, so that it doubles to every 12, or something like that. And the timetable for the 115 is now done, and what a monster it is. So during the week we have 3 timetable layers, not 2, as I normally do. The first 2 timetable layers each run every 40 minutes to bring a sort of baseline frequency, if you will, of 20 minutes. And then the next timetable layer runs every 20 minutes to double that baseline frequency up to every 10 minutes. Sundays is a little bit more simplistic, with 2 timetable layers running every 25 minutes for a daytime frequency of about every 12.5 minutes. So, actually, let's show timetable again. Let's go to a weekday and find what our vehicle requirement is, because it's going to be a lot, I know that. So let's take the 7:05 departure from Airdrie. It gets to the exhibition centre at 8:28, and I believe it takes out the 8:40. Yes. Which gets into Airdrie at 10:05, which should have it take out the 10:15. So let's have a look. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 takes us to 8:55. (12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So apparently we need 20 for this route. I'm nervous about that, so I'm going to buy 28 buses for this route. Might be overkill, I think it's fine. So yeah, initially they're going to run out of Cumbernauld, but I don't see that being the case for too terribly long. I'm not going to say... I don't know how long, because, you know, I don't really plan these. I get into the game, I look at what I've got, and I look at what I want to add. That's what I do. So, yeah, Cumbernauld garage for now. No premium seats, and no PIS either. We'll go very basic. And these are going to run with the WV type, because we're going to use WVs. Because Cumbernauld already has them. So let's buy our first 10 WVs. Import repaint, go back to Glasgow, WV type, Cumbernauld. Oh! Okay, Clydebank is fine, and that's got a C in it. That'll do. Clydebank is fine, and that has a C. So that's the first 10. Then we want another 10. No premium seats, no PIS. And WV. No, not create new painting, import repaint. It's the Clydebank one that I've finished. And then I want 8 more. WV type. Inbuilt repaint. And again, it's the Clydebank one that I have finished. There are 28 new buses, which have costed me a lot of money. But there they all are. Lagging a lot. The game did not appreciate that, but oh well, I am having a good time. So, I should say this is episode 69, very nice, of National Busways West Scotland, and when we come to episode 70, I will be giving a bit of a, you know, a map tour, like how we did episode 80 with South Coast. We're going to be doing a bit of a recap of where we've come, and yeah, we'll be entering a new license plate year, so we'll be going to the 04 plates in the next episode. There's so many of these, oh my god. I don't know where we are when it comes to the WV type, so... What were the last ones? Were they the ones at C? Which ones do I have here? Probably not at C1, probably at C2. Presidents, 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 solos, eclipses. Why do I have one for Clydebank? Barnhill? Do I have some here, okay. So we got up to VW, or WV292 at Barnhill, so I'm going to go back to Cumbernauld. Starting with this little guy. Now this is going to say Glasgow. CD. Fleet number is going to be WV 335, I think. No, 355. WV 355. And we're going to go with SN 53 ARD. There we go. So, starting with SN53 ARD, better known as WV355, I'll get the rest of these done in a little jump cut. And finally, we have SN53 ASJ, better known as WV382. So, there is our fleet of 28 Volvo B70L right eclipse Geminis. And I'm gonna get the thumbnail screenshot like that. So, yeah, let's activate the 115, which is over here. You can tell when the game's getting really big because it starts to lag with everything. Yeah, so the 115, out from Airdrie, through Coatbridge, Bargety, Baillieston, then up the into Glasgow along the Edinburgh Road, through the city centre, and then just terminating just on the other side of the city centre at the exhibition centre. It's a very nice, very direct route. I have a feeling this will make us a lot of money. So let's activate bus route now. And it's now time to join one of the first 115s on its first run from Airdrie into Glasgow. The 15:05 departure from Airdrie town centre, and I was clicking on the wrong one. Hello? Game? Where is it? There it is. Zoom in a bit. Zoom in a bit. Not that much. That's fine. There we go. Following the 115 in. It's a long run from Airdrie. It takes over 2 hours? What? No. Over about an hour and 15. Well, an hour and 20... I know this exactly, I can do this. It's an hour and 23 minutes. Not bad. And it's about an hour to the city centre itself. Because, you know, there is a bit of extra time in going to the exhibition centre. But I think it's worth it to give the exhibition centre a better connection. And the reason this route doesn't go through the city centre itself, through George Square, well, it does go through the city centre, but the reason why it doesn't take the main drag that all my buses do through George Square is because the route that I have taken it down, which goes by the Buchanan Bus Station heading westbound, and the and Queen Street Station eastbound, flip those directions. It's via Buchanan eastbound and via Queen Street westbound, is because that routing is currently only served by single-decker buses in the 29 and maybe the C4, I don't know. Actually, I think it might just be the 29. Which I think might be fairly frequent, but at the same time I'm not sure. Because I always intended for the 29 to be a not particularly major service. Hence, single-deckers into Glasgow on it. 29, it follows the 20 up to Steps, I think, and then it branches off and goes to Cardelwyn. But we're just coming past Swinton and Baillieston now, coming up into Barlanach. And yeah, good, my PC's not died. That's the reason why there was no South Coast this week, is that my PC has just been really unstable this week and I have no idea why. And at this point I'm more inclined to blame my PC than the game itself. So, yeah. Coming up the Edinburgh Road now, very important main drag. If we were to extend more into the central belt, we'd be sending a lot of limited stop buses in here, like I'd imagine a 715 or something out to like Livingston, or something like that, and then maybe like a 915 coach to Edinburgh, with the 900 taking the motorway, of course. You know, there's a lot of potential. And naturally we've ended up right behind a 10. Although I believe we have some slightly different stopping patterns down Edinburgh Road. Like, I wouldn't call the 115 limited stop, but it does skip one stop every now and again, just because some stops are absurdly close together. But yeah. We will see. We will see. So far we are making just every stop. And I mean, that's fine. It's not exactly what I want, because that 10 is taking the brunt of everything, although it does have a slightly larger capacity than we do. Although the 10 will go through Glasgow city centre. Well, I keep saying it like that, but it'll go past George Square, whereas we won't. So, there is merit still to the 115, even though it's running exactly behind a 10. Like, you know, less than a minute behind a 10, which is not ideal. And the game is taking forever doing an autosave. Aha! Game has come back as we come through Alexandra Parade Station. And yeah, we're busy. The 10 still has more people on board, but I mean, the 10 is also rammed. Ooh, that 115 coming the other way is rammed. That's a good sign. For profitability, not for service quality. But, you know, profitability comes first, am I right? You know, this is, you know, as much as my values are what they are, this is Capitalism Simulator. We are playing the game. Also, it seems to me that these autosaves are taking so long that they're running into each other, unless this is just the same one spilling back, like the same one. I don't know. But now we're coming past the Royal Infirmary, which is roughly where the 10 and us diverge. Go our own separate ways. So our first thing is we go down, is this Collins Street or Cathedral Street? I don't know. Really, I don't know why I made it stop there twice. Like, stop twice on this corner. Funny? Or something? I don't know. But yeah, we now have 87 on board out of a total capacity of 95. That's a lot. Oh, now we're full. Bus full, sorry guys. And going past Queen Street Station on Cathedral Street. Okay. That's the answer to that question. And now going down Bath Street. Just up there is Socky Hall Street, which I believe to be like a pretty important shopping street, I think? I don't know, that sounds plausible. Then coming down this bit of road, just to get us a little bit further south so that we can go into the exhibition centre without making multiple horrendous turns through that grid system above us. And yeah, now arriving at Exhibition Centre, where we will be taking out the 1640 to Airdrie. So the 1630 is just off, and we will wait just a little bit longer. But that's that. I have just missed both a 7... not 7. That's an X3. That's an X30. This is an X4. So let's take this X4 out to Kirkintilloch. So we go straight up to the motorway, around. We are a minute late, that's unfortunate. But we'll see what happens when we get off the motorway. Hopefully we'll be on time. Hopefully. CBM does sometimes like give you way too much time to do these long stops, but sometimes it doesn't, and I don't know how it's going to behave So, let's have a look. Looks like it's not quite given us enough time. Oh no, we're on time. Okay. I'll take that. We're on time. And I think most of the stops in Lenzie and Kirkintilloch are timing points. So it's not that hard to keep to time, really. You just have to sort of, as a driver, have an understanding that, you know, you might be late to the edge of Lenzie, but you'll get into Kirkintilloch on time. And now we're heading down into, or heading back around into Lenzie for the run into Glasgow. But we're not going to follow it back into Glasgow. We're going to pop over to Cumbernauld for the 1700 X20, which will in time be extended to Stirling. If I can get the camera over there, of course. There's an X20. The 1700 to Glasgow. Due into Glasgow at 1727. And it's saying that it will take out the 1730, so hopefully that's a good sign. Due into Glasgow at 1727. So let's see how good our timing is down the motorway. Hopefully, it's not disappointing. Joining up with the X4 now at that interchange. I don't know what that's called. What is the name of that interchange where the X4 and X20 diverge? I have OpenStreetMap on my laptop. I can look it up. I know. The things you can do with modern technology. It's called the Hornshill interchange. And the game's had a little moment. Every time the game has a moment, because my PC's been so unstable, it makes me go, what's gone wrong with the game? And we're early into Glasgow. How fortuitous. And into Glasgow a couple minutes early. Very nice. So, that is all the work we did today. We got the X4, the X20 to Kirkintilloch and Cumbernauld, respectively, and the new daytime route 115 to Airdrie. So, let's return to the Cumbernauld garage and have a look at who's left. So, are there any... There's a couple of SVTs. You know what? The QuickSilvers are the sort of flagships. So we'll leave... We will leave... That sounds like really bad phrasing. I know I just said we will leave like 3 times. But yeah, we'll leave it off there. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, we'll leave it off there, looking at SVT 21 and SVT 22. So I think on that note, I will see you next week from National Busways West Scotland. Bye-bye.